Okay, here is the weekend video. It's Enda here. False start the last time. Audio was terrible, so I hope the audio is better this time. And I'm going to just blast through it. I'm going to keep this to hopefully 15 minutes, and we'll see what's going on in the markets this week. Here is Eurodollar. We'll start on the dollar FX. Here is Eurodollar. It looks like we have 5 waves down. I've been looking for this 5th wave to complete for the last week or so, or more. No, about the last week. We've got an extension in with 5 of 5, and I am hoping that this 5th of a 5th of a 5th might find a very significant low pretty soon. We seem to be just bouncing along the lower end of this trend channel now, so which suggests a C wave, which suggests 3 waves down. We should see a 3-wave rally again in wave E of this long-term triangle, wave B. So wave E of B is where I'm looking towards. Initial target around 120, possibly up to about 122. And we have an alternate count that could see us go up to about 132. So I think a rally is on the way. We shall see whether that's towards that 122 target or higher. We won't know until we start seeing the form of the rally, but I'm expecting a 3-wave rally up in wave E anyway. We'll give a quick look at the hourly count. Here's that 5th wave down completing, and here's the 5th of a 5th of a 5th. And we seem to have 5 waves down coming close to an end now. Was looking for one last break of 115.28, or we'll call that some fall into about 115.20. We'll complete wave 5. And once we get a bounce then above 116.40 again, then that'll signal that wave A of A is underway. So we'll see how that goes next week. Okay, here is cable. The count in cable is just a little bit more, how would you say, a little bit more complex, a little bit more, a little bit more, yeah, complex is the word. And a few more spinning plates in this one because there's a couple of scenarios that may play out. I still think we're pretty good for wave 1 down. The problem is do we have wave 2 in place, or do we have a large expanded flat underway in wave 2? We could have 3 waves up in wave A, 3 waves down in wave B, and then some 5-wave rally higher in wave C. Given the fact that I'm expecting a rally in Eurodollar, it would kind of double up with an idea of a rally in cable as well. So this C wave scenario is a possibility here. And we'll see in the hourly chart how we're kind of accounting for that. So here's wave 1, here's the hourly count, and there's the alternate count for cable at the moment. So wave 2 is expected to probably push towards 140 again. 139.10 or 11. Now, the idea that we've got a second wave in place here this morning is probably not going to hold water. We're pushing quite high. We're pushing quite close to that 136.48 high, and that's not going to work with this particular wave count. I'm still allowing for the idea that we have 5 waves down complete, so that still counts as a wave 1 down. So whether wave 2 is complete or not is another question. It may be a larger wave 2. Maybe we'll push up towards that previous 4th wave, and that is not. It's not beyond the realms of possibility at all. In fact, it'd be a pretty standard correction if that was the case. We get some sort of a 3-wave move higher in a channel up to about 137.50 before declining in the 3rd wave. So we'll see how that goes. Today will tell us that. I mean, if we get a solid break of that 136.50 level, that'll probably point to that larger second wave. Now you can see the differing scenarios that are in play here. Once we get up there, do we continue and break into that alternate count? That's the question. So cable has kind of it's a spinning plate at the moment. We'll see how that plate falls over the next couple of days. Okay, dollar yen. Here's the alternate count for dollar yen. The alternate count is again a large expanded flat. So we've got A down, 3 up, and B, and expecting a C wave decline. If this alternate count is correct, it's the 4-hour count here. the power of that recent rally, it fits a C wave, but it also fits an impulsive rally. So I'm willing to allow the market to choose here to see where we go here. We could still be working on a correction here, and I'll show you in the hourly count how that is playing out. So I'm calling this wave 1 in blue up. We might have a wave A, B, C underway. I had thought that wave B had topped out at yesterday's high, but overnight gave us another push to the upside. So it's a larger three-wave pattern in wave B. And this morning we seem to be falling. The futures are definitely lower in the States. So we'll see, do we fade this rally last night? Do we break below that previous yesterday's low, which was 111.20? So if we break 111.20, that'll indicate wave C is underway. We'd expect to fall to about 110.60. That'll give us about 50% retracement. That'll be a 1-2 pattern in place, and we'd look for a third wave rally in order to rule out that alternate count. Okay, so here is the Dow. I'm still going with the idea that we have a 1-2-1-2 scenario here. I was speaking about the MAs and how they're working so far. So we have this 200 MA in the 4-hour count on the 4-hour chart, and that seems to be holding the price right now. It may be some sort of a complex correction in the second wave here, and if we fall again today, it would definitely favor that idea. And then we've got a 1-2-1-2 scenario, and we would look at a third wave decline next week. Let's get into the hourly count, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So there's that one wave 1, 2 off the high, wave 1 ABC, wave 2. So at the moment we've got a failed C wave. We haven't got a break to a new high above wave A. So that does open up an alternate count for wave 1 and 2 at a lower degree. But I'm not running with that right now. I'm willing to allow this wave 2 in green to resolve itself, and then look for a decline, impulsive decline again in at one lower degree to begin wave 3 down. So next week I'll be looking for 5 waves down off an eventual second wave high to begin wave 3 down, and that's the baseline scenario until we see something different. Okay, now here we have gold. This is I suppose the market of the moment. We have a solid higher low in place in wave 2, and we look to be creating another bullish higher low off the wave 2 low. So we could have a 1-2-1-2 pattern in play, and if that's the case, then we should expect a pretty explosive move over the next couple of months in a third wave. So here's the hourly count. Wave 2 down is a flat, so we've got 3 down in A, 3 up in B, and then 1, 2, 3, probably a triangle fourth maybe, and then 5 waves down in wave 5. Sorry, yeah, wave 5. If this count is correct, then we have a low in wave 2 in place, and we are working on a lower degree impulse pattern higher. We're continuing so long as we continue to build small higher lows, then I will favor the bullish outlook. I think the key level in terms of this bullish pattern is 1721, so that's got to hold for this short-term count to hold. So next week I want to see this final low in wave 2, whether it's now or a little bit lower, we'll see, and then a rally into wave 3 of 1, and that's what's ahead of us here, I think. Okay, let's move on. It's crude oil. Crude oil overall in general, I'm looking for a B wave top, and this will be wave C of B completing. And right now we're in wave 5 of C of B. So let's get into the hourly chart, and I'll show you how this is unfolding. It looks like we're probably tracking some sort of a fourth wave correction before rallying in wave 5 again. On the hourly count, you can see wave 3 of 5 complete. We're looking at an ABC correction in wave 4, and then a rally in wave 5. So we'll see how that tracks over the next few days. If we do see another eventual high above, let's say 8150 or maybe up to 82 or something like that, then I think I will begin to look down again, and it could be down in a very long way. So we'll see how that goes. The S&P, here's a 4-hour count in S&P. I'm really milling through this right now. The previous video was long and detailed. Go back and watch that one, but you can't because it just got corrupted. I hope this one isn't corrupted, please God. So we've got wave 1 and 2 off the high in the S&P on the 4-hour count. Again, we have that 200 MA on the 4-hour count that's holding these highs. If that's the case, if we're going to continue to hold those highs, and maybe we fade below this correction here again, it looks like then that 1-2-1-2 pattern is actually correct. And if we get into the hourly count, you can see the corrective nature of this week's action, and how that plays into the count. So here we go. This is the second wave at 1 lower degree. So we've got wave 1 and 2 off the high, and now wave 1 and 2 playing out. Second wave here has got an ABC, pretty standard character to it. We seem to have failed below the 78.6 retracement there of wave 1. So is this the beginning of a third wave down now tracing out? Well, we'll just have to wait for this for today's market to see, for today's trade to see how that goes. The alternate it's again a larger second wave, maybe a running flat or an expanded flat. We'll see how that goes. Suffice to say, it's a second wave top that I think we're tracing out here, and I'm looking for a third wave to begin. So let's see how that goes next week. Silver. Okay, we've got 5 waves down complete in silver. We got a non-confirmation then with gold, but silver kind of lags gold now and again anyway, or more often than not. So we've got that final low in wave 5, I think, in place, and we may be tracing out that bullish 1-2 pattern now in silver. So here we go. We've got a 5th wave low in place, 5 waves up in wave 1, and then an ABC pattern in wave 2. We may even have some sort of a 1-2 pattern at a lower degree tracing out right now. So the early action at the moment, it seems to be drifting higher slightly, so I'm not sure if we've got a third wave underway yet. We could also have a larger A, B kind of C, like an expanded flat correction ongoing. It's too early to tell right now. We'll see we'll see again how today's trade goes, and tonight on the nightly update, we'll hopefully by tonight's close, we might be able to kind of pin a tail on a donkey here and call wave 3 of 3 underway. If we got an explosive move higher today, especially a push above, let's say 23.30 or so, it's not likely, is it? But if the low holds for wave 2 and we get a push above 23 again, then that will indicate that wave 3 is underway. And then we may be on the road to a much longer rally. So we'll track that over the next couple of days and see the way the land is the lay of the land here. In general, I'm pretty bullish on the metals right now for the longer term. And if you can see this label right down here, if this is a very high degree, yes, we're talking like 6 degrees of trend here. If that's a very high degree second wave low, then we're talking about a very high degree third wave rally. So let's see how that goes over the next few days. It's definitely worth looking at. Okay, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for hanging on. This has been an interesting project this morning to create this video. Here I present everybody with the gospel of Jesus Christ. This market in general suggests that something big is turning. Something like a fourth turning suggestion. If you're aware of that concept of the fourth turning, we seem to have institutions that are falling apart. We seem to have governments that are kind of just turning into liquid in front of our eyes and just melting away. And the kind of power vacuum in the world seems to be turning towards evil again. So Oh, you know, I've always thought that this, you know, the next war cycle should appear pretty soon. So, you know, get right with Christ before it does, because this one could be a particularly bad one. But if it is a particularly bad one, then start reading Revelation, and you'll see what's coming. I pray God's blessing on you all. Thank you for watching, and consider the gospel. And we'll see you all tonight for the nightly update, all you website members. And we'll see everybody else on internet land next week. God bless. Bye bye.